Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about Sundial once more. Now, just in case, and this is the first time ever you hear about Sundial, they work in the cannabis industry in Canada. They have covered almost all of Canada with the exception of a few territories and a province, which I'll cover in a second. But on the 8th, the long-awaited 180-day extension has been granted by NASDAQ to regain compliance with the minimum bid. This basically pushes out the puck down the road until August 8th, 2022, where they will have to maintain basically or close above $1 and gotta maintain it for 10 consecutive trading days, so 2 weeks pretty much. So this is a possible thing to do. There is most likely a couple of things that they can do in order to get there. One is to either continue on with growing their business and hopefully an exponential growth, as their price point is around 61. They are around 40 cents off. They have been before above $1 for 10 consecutive days, so it's nothing really different than what they've done before. But basically, it would have to involve a lot of news that the market isn't or haven't really priced in yet. The other one, which is what a lot of companies end up doing, it's a reverse split, which would probably be around 4-to-1 or 5-to-1, which ends up really pushing down the price point of the stock and dropping it down. But nonetheless, you still have around August 8th, 2022. The last unlikely result would most likely be, or that unlikely result is a delisting into an OTC. But they do flaunt the idea for a reverse split, as you get to see, if they haven't really or aren't able to push the price up to $1. Now, Sundial itself currently has no debt with a lot of cash. Last time we know about it, we seen a reported cash of around $600 million. That is not really put into the enterprise value. So all in all, it is above a $1 billion worth company. The market cap currently is just $1 billion. Now, we've seen different highlights before. We still didn't get the updated incomes coming out of them yet for the presentation, but you're able to see, for instance, with the exception of the territories in Canada and Quebec, they pretty much have cornered the market for the cannabis industry itself, and they continue on to do different acquisitions to expand their yield in the cannabis industry. Now, in terms of price over book, currently it's 1.07, which is currently considered undervalued off the market's average. Price over sales hasn't been updated yet, as it's a TTM metric and it relies on the entire year. So in this case would be 2021, but it hasn't been updated, so this value is not accurate. And also similarly, profitability and management effectiveness is also in TTM, so that's yet to be updated. Institutional buyers were able to see a few changes, so such as Captain Management, you were able to see 300,000 additional shares being added today, and SGS Investment, a small position. Overall, you're basically seeing a bounce off, some additions, some selling, but overall, it is kind of just, I would say more selling than buying in some days, but I would say overall, it's a balanced action. Now, for short shares availability, there's only 45,000 shares available at $14.11. And currently it's around 30% of given trading day, especially the last one went to the short volume, but generally perhaps between 45 and 50%. Before moving on towards technical analysis, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner and leave notification buttons on for this channel. And don't forget to drop a like, and let's move on towards technical analysis now. Now, from a technical analysis perspective, what we're seeing here with Sundial is really a shift in momentum that is incredibly strong in the bullish side. We're able to see the price point has really pushed off above the 50 SMA at 56 cents and heading towards a 200 SMA at 73 cents. Now that is a very critical point, as it's currently pushing through some credible resistances that I'll go over in a minute. But basically, you're seeing the 10 SMA kind of crawling from underneath the 30 MA, really showing in a good positive side to things and how things might easily go towards bullish from bearish. Especially with the 20% above ticker, that is definitely a bullish direction. The average directional index still sits around 20, so it's not really signaling in a massive movement per se, but it's still signaling in that there is still a lot of potential for it to move. Now, the willing percent R, which is very similar to the relative strength index, is highly overbought. Now, it's been overbought before, back on the 4th of February, where it jumped a bit. it stabilized in the next days and we've seen another jump, so don't take it as one indicator that could easily destabilize things, but it's currently overbought, meaning there's more buying demand than selling demand, and we see that by the price point action. Now the MACD, you're able to see there's a massive push towards the bullish side, really fueling on a momentum that does definitely look bullish, and that's definitely always a good thing to see. Now, in terms of momentum confirms what you're seeing with MACD, as you get to see the price point is sitting with a momentum of around 0.2. Now, that's not definitely the highest, but it's the highest ever since, I would say, back into the 12th of November phase, or equal to around 0.2 right now compared to 0.27. That was really high momentum that dropped back. That was around from $1 level, but you're still seeing the significant momentum levels at this current time being. The stochastic fast and stochastic slow. Now, the fast one is indicating to be very careful because you might easily be hitting a very strong resistance at this level. Meanwhile, the slow is kind of showing that there might be another leg up for this one, but keep in mind that these are lagging indicators, so there might be a bit of a leg up for this one, but they do give you a cautionary kind of alert to be very careful where your money is. Now, on the moving average bands, you're currently seeing a curve upwards, which is definitely a good thing. Moving average bands are expecting this one to trade between 56 cents on the top and 46 on the bottom. The Bollinger Bands are between 61 and 41 on the Bollinger Bands. The price point is beyond that Bollinger Band, so you might actually get to see a bit of a strong movement going bullish side. Now, the last time it really crossed above the Bollinger Bands, that was back in 12th of November, but you get to see it dropped easily and quickly back into more of a downtrend, even lower than what it was. Hopefully that's not the case at this time being. This is a result of a Bollinger Band kind of doing the opposite, the price point dropping below the Bollinger Bands and seeing an uptrend. So definitely kind of promising, and we didn't yet hit the volumes that we've hit back when it almost hit $1, so there is still room to grow volume-wise. But on the Fibonacci retracements, we're able to see some key supports and resistances. The current resistance is at 66 cents, which is currently, I believe, a support because the price point is 0.6629. But if it goes above 0.66, that automatically becomes a new support that is very hard to break. Now, resistances 82 cents, 95, 107, 126, and 149, with another support at 40 cents. So there is kind of a good balance between supports and resistances. Now, there is some resistances I'm kind of intrigued about and other supports. The first support would be around the 0.66 to 0.65, and then below there, 0.63, going downwards to 0.60, and then 0.58 to 0.56, going down to around 0.52, and then 0.48 downwards to 46 cents and 44 cents. Now, in terms of resistances, there is one at 67, going a bit higher at 69, and then 73, and then 76, and then 80 cents, higher to 84, 89, and then you get to see 95, higher to 96, and then 102, 106, and 109, up to 149. Now, I do anticipate there might be a bit of a resistance at the $1, so keep that in mind. Currently, it is in an uptrend, and we're able to even put in perhaps a channel up to this one. And the channel would look something similar. I'm not sure exactly what I went there. I went for a Fibonacci channel, but with just a normal channel, you're able to see it actually extended above that channel, but the channel currently sits between 60 cents and 53 or 55 cents, to be specific, 54. But nonetheless, the price point has exceeded this channel, and it does show that there is a bullish trend for this one. Now, the question is, how will it reach above that compliance level? And if it does, then it has a very good chance to not needing a reverse split anytime in the near future. But right now, as it looks like, it is kind of a sensitive moment where if they don't grow the business kind of exponentially, getting this price point above $1 in a market that is very hazy, you might be risking a reverse split way down the line before the August kind of mark. What do you think is happening for this one? Make sure to down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.